Speaker.
I call Sarah Dowie.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I'm delighted to take a call in this appropriations debate and delighted to take a call after the last speaker. So I will endeavour over the next 10 minutes to educate him about the regions and about what this government is doing to support our economy moving forward, but not only that, to support our families and the most vulnerable in our society to move them on to independence and achieve their hopes and dreams. And I'm going to start with congratulating the Honourable Bill English on delivering his 8th budget. I think it was a very, very good budget, and one that builds on this government's record of responsible, sensible, pragmatic and compassionate governance of this country. So not only are we supporting business to do what they do best, to grow the economy, to grow their markets, and of course to take those risks to take on extra staff, employ the extra person so that they can grow in their own skill base and support their own families. But we are supporting the vulnerable, as I said earlier. And this is evidenced by the statistics. We've heard that statistics don't lie, and there is forecasted growth of about 3% over the next few years, and unemployment is forecasted to drop below 5% in the upcoming years. So we are the envy of the OECD. But not only are we going to continue to deliver on our fiscal priorities to maintain surpluses and to reduce our debt by 2020, but we are continually looking at the economy as a whole. So yes, I acknowledge that we do need to focus on our larger centres. Auckland will always beat the likes of Invercargill in GDP and the money go round. But we have a lot going for us down south as well, and this is a government that looks to the regions to support our economy and assists the regions to do well. The Southland economy is doing exceptionally well, and we're still producing 14% of New Zealand's total export receipts and boxing well above our weight. And I'll continue to educate you along those lines. So, I will, Mr. Woodhouse, I will speak very slowly so that the opposition can pick it up. So with regards to regional economic development, I'm very, very pleased that this government has come up with the Innovative New Zealand Fund. And of course, the Innovative New Zealand Fund is a whopping $761 million that is going to encourage entrepreneurship and business growth. And of course, that has 3 parts. And the first is $411 million, and that's over 4 years, designed to develop and promote high-tech, clever ideas so that people can expand in that science sphere and come up with new ideas to commercialise, build markets and do well. The second, of course, is $257 million, and that's with respect to building apprenticeships in the areas that we need. So we're looking at sectors like science, engineering and agriculture, and certainly down in Southland we need more of that. That's right. We need more agriculture and engineering experts down in Southland to help support our primary industry. And the final one, which I'm really pleased about, is supporting regional economic development with initiatives that are going to unlock business opportunities and have real tangible benefits for our regions, tailored to our regions, to build on our regions, each region's individual strengths, so that each region can continue to diversify its economy, create jobs for its people and do well. And in that regard, I want to talk about our SWORDS group, the Southland Regional Development Strategy, otherwise known as SWORDS. And some regions are more developed than others with respect to taking the lead and owning what goes on in our region. And Southland's one of those, of course, with the SWORDS group. And it's a 2-year program of a group of business people coming together to develop an action plan for Southland. And its target is to attract 10,000 more people by 2025 in Southland. Funnily enough, migration plays a really big part in that.
That's right.
And so for the opposition to talk about reducing immigration, that leaves a bad taste in Southlanders' mouths, because we're crying out for skilled migrants in Southland. We're crying out for skilled people to come to our regions and take up our jobs that exist. We have a very low unemployment rate. We have a very high labour participation rate, 74%, when the national average is 64%. We have an unemployment rate of 5%, which is still below the national average. So we're doing very, very well. We need more people to increase our production and keep our production up. And so, yes, we need to look overseas for those skills. And we're very happy to have our Immigration Minister, Mr Woodhouse, come and visit us recently so that we could talk about the challenges that we face for more people, for more skilled people. And so I think that our points system that we have at the moment and the changes to the points system to encourage people to the regions is going to stand us in good stead moving forward. But along with that goal of attracting 10,000 more people to live in Southland by 2025, we are looking at new industries and expanding existing industries. And currently, we have 20% of New Zealand's aquaculture in Southland, producing salmon and, of course, oysters in Stewart Island. We want to expand on that, and the government has thankfully come in behind in a partnership with MPI and with our Swords Group and Ngāi Tahu and local government. And we're undertaking research, preliminary research, to look at the Southland coastline as to where aquaculture could be viable. It's very preliminary at this stage, but we need to undertake some good science so that we can establish where there is potential and then look to invest in that potential. And if you look at some of the stats for every hectare of space in aquaculture, it's 22 jobs and around about 13 million in revenue. So that's going to support our families moving forward. It's going to create more jobs and more revenue for our region, and I'm pleased that the government has come in behind that and supporting Southland. The other thing that Budget 2016 has done, of course, is invest in infrastructure, $2 billion in faster, better internet across the country, a goal to connect 97% of people on RBI or UFB by 2019, and of course that's so important for Southland. And of course schools were one of the first, some of the first to be connected. And I want to talk about Stewart Island again because the students at Half Moon Bay School, they get to enjoy a wonderful lifestyle out and recreating in the natural bush, enjoying island lifestyle. But of course they want to go to school and they want to learn and they want to have an all-rounded education. And so with that connection of fibre, they can Skype to learn different subjects. And what they do at this stage is they Skype a teacher in Blenheim to learn music. And I think that that is fantastic, that these young students can stay on the island, enjoy an island lifestyle, but still learn and have an all-rounded education. I just want to end with Battle for Our Birds, $20 million invested into Battle for Our Birds. You only have to look again at Ulva Island. It's pest-free. And the bird song on Ulva Island is absolutely fantastic. By having Battle for our birds and keeping our conservation efforts up, it increases tourism. Tourism has now overtaken dairy. It is one of our largest earners in the country. And we want to continue to promote ecotourism in Southland and grow that pie for our people and again create more jobs and more wealth for our families. So this is a budget, Mr Speaker, that is growing the economy, but it's also supporting our families, and I am very, very pleased to be part of a government that's doing that.
Dr. David Clark.
Well, Mr. Speaker,